know what? It was what it was, and Daniel's up for this. He's up for this in a big way. He wants this fight. He craved for it, and we delivered it. It's his chance to make history. It's the first time ever there's been a unification of the heavyweight division in the UK. It's the first time 4 belts, and it's his moment in time to cement his legacy in British sport, not just boxing, British sport, by beating the guy who's done everything in the heavyweight division, from winning the Olympic Games, down at the cruiserweight, coming in at cruiserweight and unifying the division and unifying the heavyweight titles. This is a huge, huge moment in time for him.
He said he's felt a lot of pain and anger since that first fight. Have you seen that, and do you feel like that's the key motivation for him heading into this one, revenge?
I don't know. Look, his motivation has been from the beginning to become the unified world champion. He's wanted that from the beginning. We invested in him very early. 9 years he's been with us, and it's been a long journey, a couple of bumps in the road, and he's got himself into a good place. And if he's ever going to do it, it's now.
And he wants absolute destruction, absolute domination this time. Obviously, you and Daniel.
That's how you beat Usyk. You've got to dominate him. You've got to hurt him. It's the hurt business they're in, but he's got to get in there. He's got to show what he's all about, and he's got to be the boss. But that's a hard thing to do with Usyk. Usyk's a great fighter.
Let's talk about how much he's improved since that first fight. He's on an absolute tear, Daniel is, and he wants to right that wrong from last time.
He's a totally different fighter, isn't he? When I say a different fighter, he's got a confidence and air about him. I know he's always had the power. He's been in some good fights. If you look at his record and look at the guys he's fought at his age, it's amazing. Compared with a lot of heavyweights when they start out, looking at the amount of fights he's had and what other fighters have done. He's fought at a very, very high level. And his last 3 fights, he's been phenomenal. Phenomenal. The power that he's shown, the boxing ability, the grit, the determination to come through the fights. And he's done it in fabulous, fabulous style. He's an exciting fighter. He's never in a boring fight. Every fight he has is an exciting fight. And this one is the big one.
Right, what does Daniel need to do differently in this rematch?
Win it.
And how do you think he can go about doing that?
How do I think? He's got to go out there. He's got to get behind his jab. He's got to let his bombs go, and he's got to be the boss. And if he's the boss, and if he can sustain that, I think he can come through and stop him.
Frank, how much?
Usyk offering his team a 4v4 fight outside the arena.
I'm meeting them afterwards. We're going to sort it out between all of us.
Frank, how much do you think the body shots will play into this fight? Is Daniel going to focus on them?
I hope they do. I hope they come. Look, it's about throwing all shots. It's not just going to ride up being a body snatcher. That was the tactics for the first fight. Daniel's, as I say, he's matured. He's shared the ring. He knows what's in front of him, and he knows what he's got to do. And he knows now that he can do it. He believes he can do it, as I do.
How much will...
In the British event, it's Unified Heavyweight World Championship, UK soil, and Queensbury's hosting it. Talk to us about that.
Well, it's just a brilliant moment for me. It's a proud moment as a promoter that we've done it. It's the first time ever. This is history. This is not just boxing history. This is British sporting history. And I want Daniel to come through, and as I said earlier on, he will then etch his name in British sport, being the first guy to ever hold the 4 belts and to do it on British soil.
Right, there was a lot of conversation about Joseph Parker, maybe revisiting that fight with Daniel. Obviously he's with yourselves. Any talks on what's next for Joseph? Is there a chance he could feature on this card?
The WBO have made him the mandatory, so the winner of this fight has to defend against him. Instead of fighting Daniel, if we'd have carried on with that fight for 1 belt, he now fights for the 4 belts. He fights the winner for the 4 belts. He's in a great position. In the meantime, we'll put him in a fight and keep him going.
What do you think of EUBANK Ben?
I thought it was an excellent fight. I thought it was a really good fight. It was they'd done themselves and their families proud, and really, for me, showed what they were all about.
How did you have it scored? Conor says he thought he should have won it by a round. How did you have it scored?
I thought Conor at a stage of the fight was a couple of rounds in front, and then I felt at the end of the fight that Chris won it by a couple of rounds. He won the last 2 rounds. That's what did it, and that's when the size mattered in the last couple of rounds.
Rematch too much for you?
I'm not really interested in that. It's not my business. It's
Frank,
up to them.
there's been talks. You can't talk heavyweights without talking Tyson Fury. He posted a video of him on Sugar Hill training. Have you had any conversations with Tyson?
No, I haven't. I'm glad to see he's training.
Frank, do you think the momentum of Daniel, I mean, the momentum he's on going into this fight is far superior than the one he was on in the first fight? Do you think that'll play a massive part in this fight?
Because he's been in with a better quality opposition and he's got experience. Listen, he went in with, going in with Usyk, he lost the fight, but he hurt him. Whatever way you want to look at it, he hurt him, and he's learned from that. I'm telling you, this next fight's going to be totally different.
And there was a lot of going around online. Obviously, I think you got the photo in your hand.
just
And then, it's the shot. Talk us through the shot from the first fight, Frank.
There it is. That is on the belt. It's not below the belt, and it's not the belt. It's the navel. You look at the record. You've got to look at the rules. The rules is the navel. So if you get a guy who puts his shorts up there, that doesn't count. It's where your navel is. And somebody said, but you look at it, it comes from down here. Yeah, he's brought the shot up. It's where it connects that counts. Anyway,
What did you say about Usyk? He could have just sailed up into sunset. Pretty much.
He's a fighting man. He's a fighting man. I mean, they asked for the fight. He fancies it big time. Both of these fighters fancy it. This is going to be a great fight. And the reason it's going to be a great fight is because Usyk is a great fighter, and Daniel believes he can beat him. He believes that the referee didn't do him any justice last fight. But all that's all in the past. On the night, he thinks he's going to be the better fighter, and we're going to find out.
We saw obviously yesterday Daniel give Oleksandr a shove as well. Do you think that kind of that aggression from Daniel will be good or bad in regards to Usyk coming back?
We'll find out, won't we, on the 19th?
Frank, we mentioned EUBANK and Benn before. How much respect do you have for EUBANK Jr. now after going through a war like that?
I have respect for all fighters that get in the ring. It's not about in the ring, it's how much respect he shows outside the ring. And outside of the ring, he's been a prick.
Frank, if we do see Tyson back in the ring, will it be the Anthony Joshua fight, or is there a possibility he could fight the winner of Usyk and Dubois? Obviously, you promote both men. Tyson hasn't said to me or anybody at the moment that he's coming back to fight. He's trained, and he always has a glint in his eye if he wants to come back, and if he does come back. Listen, he's a former 2-time world champion. He was in 2 very, very close fights with Usyk. I thought he won one of them. Definitely won one of them, in my opinion. But that's gone and dusted. That's done and dusted. And if he comes back, and he is what he is. He's a great fighter.
How much inspiration has